Whoa. Yahoo. Hi. Oh my gosh, I feel like I don't even know you anymore. What's going on? I feel like it's been a billion years. Hi. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Welcome to my room. Oh my gosh. Yahoo. How am I feeling? Way better. Like so better. We're basically back. My only problem now is stamina. I've got all my control back. Like, I can use my voice however I want it. As of, honestly, like yesterday evening was when I was like, yeah, okay, we're back. I just can't use it for as long as I want yet. I can't use it quite as long as my usual. But I'll get there. I'll get there. I just have to train it back up. Yeah, I win, basically. TLDR, I won. Still sounds a bit different. Yeah, it's because I'm not quite there. I'll still probably sound low energy for a bit. Give me another week or two, and then I'll be like totally normal. When I say like my control is back, what I mean is like if I push myself, I can reach something that is like my normal. I'm not gonna do that, but I can, which is good because before I straight up just could not make sounds with my voice and I could not speak normally. So I still need a little bit more time, but we can stream again. I just have to be very selective with what kind of streams I do for the time being. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like nonstop secret streams anymore. This one will be archived for you. Was I able to record? No. I tried. I'll be trying again either tonight or tomorrow. I tried yesterday and I really struggled, but that's how I found out that I'm still getting better. So like I know I will be able to. I'm just not yet. But I'm getting there. Fingers crossed. I got an extension for one thing, and that is next week. Thoughts and prayers, because I need them. I need whatever it takes to make it happen this time. And if in the end I can't, that's okay too. But yeah, I'll be doing my best behind the scenes, and hopefully some more on screen. I feel like I've been gone forever. It's been stressing me out so bad. I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long. Don't tell me you've replaced me, have you? No, I'm just kidding. Nante ne. I don't actually care. I do hope that you've been able to keep yourself entertained. I personally have been bored out of my mind without you there to talk to me and to hang out, so I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Who told me? It's all over Twitter. I see, I read. No, I'm just joking. You'll never get the jealousy treatment from me. I'm above jealousy. I'm better than that. If you find something that you enjoy or that can bring you comfort, then I'm happy for you. That is what I will say. Of course, I cherish our time together. I'll say that much. That's none of my business. Sipping my tea. Yeah, no, all I want is for you to be happy and entertained, so I do not mind where you find that. Heart emoji. What tea today? Oh my gosh, I got it. My tea, it's in my house. I have it. I have the next 6 months supply of throat coat. Except this one I do not think is well, hold on. We can do some math. I think no, wait, hold on. I'm going to get the actual numbers right now. I'm going to my purchase history. That's how serious this is, because I've talked about this enough without knowing the actual numbers. We're going to get those numbers right now. All right. Placed in 2025. Shipped to Kaelix. Okay. Hold on. Please hold. when did I order my big batch of tea before? Okay, I got 2 6-packs. I ordered those in early May, and they lasted me until the beginning of October. So 12 boxes of traditional medicinals throat coat lasted me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, pretty much 5 months. So yeah, we'll say that I have another 5 months supply in my house now because I got the same number this time. Yeah. I have another 5 months supply alongside some other things. I got maybe we could experiment with this today or tomorrow. I haven't set it up yet, but I got a heart monitor. Original slippery elm or licorice, they're the same one. Those are the same flavor. Yeah, so the original blend is licorice with slippery elm. The other flavors that people really like from traditional medicinals are echinacea is popular. I see a lot of love for eucalyptus. I like the original. The original is my favorite. Yeah, I got that. I got a heart monitor. I got a funky humidifier. I don't know if I'm using it right yet. I'm running it when I sleep, and I run it whenever I'm running my heater as well, because the heater dries out the air like crazy. I woke up this morning feeling like I lived in the jungle. Like my room wasn't humid, but I could feel in my throat that something was different, and I don't know yet if it was different good or different bad. But it's supposed to help, and I did a lot of research before getting this one, so it should help. But it's new, and I adjust very poorly to change of any kind ever. It's one of my weaknesses. I don't know if we've gone over that weakness very much. I try not to dwell too much on my weaknesses. I prefer talking about strengths, but one of my weaknesses is that I hate change and I suck at it. It's terrible to tell you the truth. Um, yeah, we can talk more about that in a bit, in about 20 minutes to be exact, because I need to make sure I set this up properly. We need to get into what the focus of today's stream is. So as I mentioned, my throat is still not where it needs to be. It's getting there. It's gradually getting there. I've been very dedicated with my routine and my dietary restrictions to improve my condition. But it's not quite where it needs to be yet, and I cannot handle a full regular chatting stream. So today we'll be doing a Pomodoro working chatting stream. I do a modified one so that we can spend a little bit more time together. My personal preference is a setting of 20 minutes work and 10 minutes chat. Usually it would be 25 and 5 for a full Pomodoro, but I would prefer 20 and 10 so that we can spend a little bit more together, you know what I mean? Let me adjust this a little bit. But yeah, we'll start it in exactly 1 minute. Today I'll be working on some administrative stuff and some other things that I can do without using my voice. If you've got anything you need to study, anything you need to work on, this is a good time to focus. I find that having a body double that can hold you accountable is really helpful for getting work done. In truth, I've actually been struggling to catch up recently. So it's my hope that you can hold me accountable and expose me if I'm looking at Twitter. This is what it looks like if I look at Twitter, okay? If you spend this whole stream looking at me instead of doing your work, I need you to make a big deal out of it if I look like this. If I look down at my phone, I need you to keep me off of Twitter. I've lived on that site recently. It's gotten so bad since I got sick. I've been more online this last week and a half than I have my entire life. Yeah, we'll do 20 minutes work, and then we'll chat again for 10 minutes. All right, you ready? I'll set up the timer so that I can go 2, 1, and we work. Okay. I'll see you again in 20 minutes. Okay. All right. We can hang out for 10 minutes. Yippee. Did you get anything done? Did you lock in? Or did you just look at me the whole time? Which camp are you staying at? I think it's so. You can be so goofy. It's so funny. I'll be focused And then I look over for a second and you're saying the goofiest things every time. Still locked in? Well, lock out. Unlock. Unlock. We're in the rest period now. Unlock for like 8 more minutes. 9 more minutes rather. Oops. Locked in on a chicken sandwich. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. I've been having for the last 2 days now. See, my mom, she decided she's had enough of her cooking pot that she used for everything. She just recently got one of those really big, really tall soup pots. Like one of those that they have in the movies. She got one of those. And she made a big bunch of vegetable soup with like tomato, green bean, pepper. It has some beef in there too. So good. Tomato broth, naturally. I've been having that for the last 2 days. Every meal. And I'm not sick of it yet. It's so good. So scary when locked in. Seeing all the yaoi in your brain. What? I didn't see any of that. You just self-reported, my friend. I didn't see anything. I'm just looking at what I'm working on. Oh my gosh. That's none of my business. Sipping my tea. That's none of my business. Call me Kermit. Who said that? Yeah, no, I've been having a lot of soup. It's really good. I think my next meal will be more soup. But I think by tomorrow, I will not be able to continue reheating the same pot of soup. I think that 3-day mark, that's when it starts to get not weird yet, but it's like 1 day shy of being weird, and I don't play. You know, I don't play any nasty games around here. So, it really is a good time of year for soup, isn't it? Like that mid-fall. I'm not really relishing fall as much as I like to. I feel like I'm rotting away. I'm not exercising. I'm just barely getting my stretches in. I'm in the worst shape ever. I gotta lock back in that way. I gotta get back on my routine. I made a feeble attempt at getting back into it. I was like, nope, not better yet. And you know, I think I may have mentioned this to you too. Before I got sick, I was slacking a lot too in the time of like VCraft. I was not on my regular routine for exercise then either. And I was just getting back into exercising then. So I'm in the worst shape I've been for a while. I've been slacking off. I'm a flop bouncer right now. Flop Tina Badusi. I gotta lock in. Yeah, I will. It's it's important to me. So what was I gonna talk about before? I think we got cut off before. I got things in the mail. I got my tea. I got my humidifier. I got my heart monitor. I can't remember what else I got. I got a new debit card because my bank has decided they'd rather go with another provider for cards instead of the one that they've been with this whole time. So now I have to change my payment for like 3 different subscriptions, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's so annoying, and I don't know that all of them are going to accept this new one. I might have to find a new bank. Peace sign. I hate change. I think they should have stayed with the same one forever. But what do I know? Paying with face card. I fear we're living in different realities, my friend. I'm not living in such a world where I could pay with a face card. That is a fantasy. This is not that one episode of Black Mirror where you have like social currency. I love that episode. What is it called? Nosedive? I think that's the name of that Black Mirror episode. I love Black Mirror. We need to talk about Black Mirror some more. As much as I like it, I feel like I don't bring it up very often. It's one of my favorites of like recent series, TV, film. I love Black Mirror. It's good stuff. What is it even about? So Black Mirror as a whole is usually about technology, like modern technology and its relationship with humans, or rather humans' relationship with technology. Uh every episode, they're mostly disconnected. There are some that are loosely connected, but you don't follow like the same characters through a bunch of plot points in like a single adventure. It's not like that for Black Mirror. Every episode is a vacuum. Each episode is its own story, right? And some episodes have multiple stories. Those are my favorite ones. My two favorites are the Black Museum and what's the other one? It's the one that's like around Christmas time. That's another multi-story episode. That's my other favorite. I like that one too. But yeah, every single episode is its own self-contained story that covers the theme of humans and technology. White Christmas, thank you. Yeah, the Black Museum and White Christmas. Black Museum and White Christmas. Those are my two favorite Black Mirror episodes. I like those. I like when the approach for the episode is telling multiple stories that have a common theme. I like that because it makes me think of this like ancient VHS tape that I had as a kid. It was of a recorded TV special on a VHS tape. So it wasn't, I don't think it was something that was sold or distributed. It was recorded on like a TV box and we just had it in our collection. It was of oh my god. It was a classic story about so this weasel catches a mouse and the mouse is clever and he's going to talk his way out of getting eaten cuz the weasel's going to cook him into a food. He's going to eat him up. Going to make him into mouse soup. And the mouse is like, "Well, this soup is going to taste terrible if you don't put in any stories." And he just keeps telling the weasel stories to quote unquote make the soup better until the weasel falls asleep and then he sneaks out. I loved it. It was actually kind of creepy in retrospect. It was a claymated short thing for kids. Actual mouse? No, no, no. It was a character mouse. It was a character. I should have clarified that. It's a claymated children's story. Uh, yeah. Whenever I see those episodes of Black Mirror, it makes me think of that, where it's like multiple stories in one thing. I watched that VHS tape so many times. I watched it a billion times. Mouse soup? Is that what it's called? I don't know. I just know the mouse was like, well, you need to put in stories. You need to put stories in this soup or it'll taste like dog water. And the weasel fell for it. Mm. Legend of Scheherazade. Yes, 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 yes. Similar vibes. Yeah, 1001 Nights. Exactly. Honestly, that's a better way to describe this. Like the 1001 Nights scenario where she's like, in order to avoid getting executed, she tells him a story but doesn't finish it. So he has to let her live one more night so she can finish the story. Kind of like that. Mouse soup? Ah, okay, 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 okay. I like things like that. I like when it's like there's one big story that has a bunch of smaller stories in it. I like those. Those are fun. Mm. Yeah. Speaking of cliffhangers, I don't know if you see what our time is coming to, but mm. Yeah, highly recommend Black Mirror. I will warn you though, there are some really heavy episodes, some really heavy themes. Some of them they make you feel like dog poo. Some of them they make you feel like you're lighter than air. So be wary. Some episodes heavier than others. I think the first episode, if you go in like release order, it's one of the craziest ones ever. It's sick. But it's good. It's good stuff, right? uh, where can you watch? It is a Netflix original, I think. I'm pretty sure. I watch a lot of stuff on Netflix because that's what my dad has. All right, let's lock in again. You ready? I'll miss you. See you in like 20 more minutes. Okay. We can chat for 10 more minutes. Hi. Why are you so scared of me, huh? What's the deal? Is it just because it's Halloween? Happy Halloweener. Are you scared of me because it's Halloween, or am I just like actually scary? I will say that's new. I don't get that very often. I'll take it as a compliment. Because I'm side-eyeing you. No, no, no. It only looks that way. Because, you know, I have my camera on my screen. And so what you're seeing is me side-eyeing my work. I realize it may feel like that since you're on the other end of this interaction, right? But no, it's because I'm tall. Oh yeah, are tall people scary? I get that. I get that. I've met some men in my life in particular that were like 6'5" or taller. Scary. That's scary. That's spooky. Oh, just out mogging. Oh, am I mogging? Am I mogging? Am I winning? I don't like that. I will say, of all the current slang, I'm not a big fan of mogging, even though I use it. I don't like it in the actual way it's used. I like it sometimes, but I like it in more non-traditional contexts, I think. That's what I've come to. I felt conflicted with it since its arrival into the like the established vernacular of our people. I don't like that. Not a fan. Mogging is out. Example, okay, I like using mogging in a way that does not relate to looks. Because traditionally mogging is like looking better than people, right? And on one hand, I think I can look the other way if it's just like you look cleaner, like you've got good fashion or good hygiene. That's one thing, right? But when it comes to just basic appearances, I'm not a fan of comparison. Uh I think mogging is more of a fun word to use if it's like in a contest of like skill. You know, for example, Zilgin Joker recently played the horror tolerance test game, and I was completely mogged. You know, the contrast between me playing it recently and him playing it, it was very clear. It was the victor of this game was very clear. I was mogged. I was outclassed, outranked. You know, I like mogging like that. That's a good word. That's a good use of the word mog, in my opinion. I think that's nice. I don't feel any conflict hearing or using the word in that way. He saw the vid. He was there too. I don't know how much he saw of me playing it, but he was there when I started. uh, Embarrassing. That's just how he plays these games, though. I don't know how he does it. It's like he makes a horror game feel kind of like a cozy game. It's weird. That man is weird. That is one strange, disturbed man, Ginjoka. He will play the scariest game you've ever seen, and he'll experience like the worst scare in that whole game. Award-winning horror title, and he'll just go. Like it's nothing. It's nothing. He's got like he could not emote less in response to a jump scare. Oh yeah, the most you'll get is when he screams in lowercase. He'll be like, ah. Did I roll my eyes? Yes, he does that. He does that. I don't know. That's something I've noticed. If like a scare is cheap or whatever, he'll just go. You know. Whoa. Yeah, no. He is of a different breed. That's not me. I I believe most things exist on a scale of extremes, one weakest to one strongest. I think in terms of fear or like horror tolerance, Ginjoka would be very far on the right of that number line. I am as far to the left as a grown adult can be, I fear. I literally fear. I just get so easily scared. I get so immersed, and so even if there's no legitimate threat, I feel like it's happening to me for real. So even if there was nothing really scary or crazy about that painting, for example, in that game, horror tolerance test, to me, I'm being chased for real by a floating painting that's groaning and making weird noises. And this follows an obstruction to the formula that the game established of like, okay, we're going to explain what's about to happen in this test. It's a little scary, but I'm going to explain what happens first so you feel safe. He didn't do it the third time. It was different. He just threw me in it. He just dropped me into the water and expected me to learn to swim. It was scary. I wasn't warned. I wasn't ready for it. Be a pro in those haunted houses. You know, here's the sad part. I don't know what his experience is with this, but I've worked in a haunted house. I've literally worked in one. I have 3 years of volunteer experience in a haunted house. We talked about this not too long ago. Oh, I don't know what it is. I just get so scared. And I love scary movies. I love horror movies. I think they're great. And I don't get scared watching them. I enjoy it. I love it. It's one of my favorite categories of film. I love horror films. I just get scared playing video games. It's like when it's a movie, it's like, okay, this is happening to Paul, the novelist, and not Kaelix, the viewer. I'm in no danger whatsoever, and there's no switches flipping in my brain. You know? I can watch that. It's great. Enjoyable. When I play a video game, it's very different. That's happening to Kaelix. I get scared. I don't know what it is. I just can't. How did I manage to scare people? Maybe me saying I worked in a haunted house wasn't the best disclaimer, because my first year I was part of a, rather than a scare actor, I was a scene actor. I was a victim. I was a victim to a mad scientist was our scene. And I just screamed. I was meant to disturb rather than to scare. Then the second 2 years I was a host. So I wasn't even scaring people. I was handing out waivers and, you know, explaining what was going to happen, explaining the rules and entertaining them, because it was limited. It was just a certain number of people that could go in at a time. So if they arrived in a big group, I had to entertain people while they waited for their turn. So but you know, I could walk through the haunted house and knew the full layout and regularly did so to, you know, exchange information with the scare actors and stuff like that. I don't know. Read horror books. I used to. I don't read any books anymore, and I kind of grieve that I don't. I miss when I read regularly. You know, I loved scary stories when I was younger. I love scary stories. In particular, I always loved I think we talked about this briefly some time ago. I like King. I think King is really good. Though in general, I feel like I'm more well versed in, like, I've seen more film adaptations of Stephen King's books than I have the actual, like, than I have read the books. Gothic fiction. Yeah, I like that too. I like Poe. Edgar Allan Poe is another of my favorites. I like his short stories. Of King's books, I've read. Oh, I just referenced it. I've read Misery. I've read. I think I read Carrie. And I got some big thoughts about Carrie. Oh my gosh, I need them to do an adaptation of Carrie as a film with a conventionally. Oh my gosh, I only have a minute to talk about this, but I have so many thoughts about it. How about we talk about this in like 20 minutes? I have so many thoughts about Carrie specifically. I think Carrie is one of Stephen King's most prolific works. I think it's one of the most iconic horror stories ever, one of the most iconic horror films ever. And I think it's well made, but it's done in such a way that negates the entire message and purpose. All right, I'm gonna give you a cliffhanger. You have to wait 20 minutes to find out what I think about Carrie. Yeah, okay, we can talk about Carrie in 20 minutes, okay? Okay, let me get back to work. Let me set this up. Yeah, let it marinate. You can take this time to establish your own opinion, maybe, if you don't have one yet. All right, lock in. Yeah, it's just like Scheherazade, like the cliffhangers. You can't execute me. You have to hear the rest of the story. Fanta's playing Genshin? Sorry. Sorry. Never play Genshin again. Sorry. Sorry. I just opened YouTube. I had to check something. Don't yell at me. I saw he had the little ring around his icon. I wanted to see what he was doing. I got curious. Tapping microphone. Doom, doom, doom. Hello. We can talk for 10 minutes. What are we going to talk about? I can't remember. I put off a topic to talk about now because I didn't have enough time last time. I want to be strict about the 2010 division so that I don't lose my voice. And also so that we can make progress because usually a Pomodoro is 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of break time. So I'm already pushing it a little far. Carrie, yes. Okay, so are you familiar with Carrie? Have you seen or read any iteration of Carrie? Stephen King story. Classic, beloved, iconic horror story. Carrie, are you familiar? No? Okay, I will warn you. I'm about to talk about it. So, spoilers abound, but I'll try to be generally vague. I won't go into specifics. I'll talk a bit more about the purpose of Carrie, like the message, rather than what actually happens in the story. So, if you haven't and are interested in seeing or reading it, know that I'll kind of spoil it, but I won't really spoil it, you know? But I might. Anyway, so Carrie, in the story Carrie, we follow a girl who is kind of ostracized by her peers in school. She's othered by her classmates. She's seen as kind of like a weird girl, you know, a wacky, strange girl. And she's bullied and you know, pushed out because of it. And this comes to a head at a very important time for her after she's had like the briefest taste of being accepted. And how do I articulate this? It is a difficult thing to talk about delicately, but it's very real and it's a very important part of the story. Something that I feel that I've only seen the first film, but I think there have been a couple others since then, and I think there might actually be another one in production right now. Any film I've ever seen of Carrie or seen anything about of Carrie, I feel they missed the mark in casting the lead actress for Carrie, specifically in that I feel that the lead actress is always conventionally attractive in a way that negates the message of the story, which, to be clear, I personally don't think appearance should play a part in most casting. I feel that most actors should play most characters so long as they can act that character, right? In the case of Carrie, her appearance is a very important part of the story. It is a very important part of her character that, you know, she's not just ostracized because she's weird. She's ostracized because she does not meet the expected appearance. She's not conventionally attractive. They describe her as someone with a lot of acne, and she's insecure about the way she looks. Um, and the part of this story that makes it scary, the part of it that makes it like a true horror story, isn't anything that happens uh, as far as like the scary activities go. It is that the students of her school are the monster of this horror story. And the scary part of it is supposed to be that you have been them at some point. You're supposed to see in Carrie somebody that you went to school with. And when I was, you know, when I was in elementary, middle school, we had our own Carrie. And I remember when I was reading the book, I just felt so sick to my stomach thinking about it. And I felt, you know, I was racked with guilt because I had been complicit in a situation like that. You know, I wasn't bullying anybody, but I knew it was happening and I didn't do anything. Uh, an important message of the story is that you see Carrie as someone that you've known. Like you're supposed to know Carrie. And I feel that I don't know, I feel that casting these beautiful, beautiful actresses to play her, I feel like it really it negates a lot of the message and it makes it harder to put yourself in that position of like, I've known this girl. You know what I mean? I don't know. That is my stance on Carrie. I think they should take a different approach in casting. I think the story of Carrie is supposed to make you feel guilty. Um or in some cases maybe you feel that you were Carrie. Uh in that case maybe a little vindicated rather than guilty. But yeah, I feel like as good as a lot of the screenplay can be, as good as a lot of the effects, costuming, you can hit everything perfectly, but if you don't cast the right kind of person, uh, as far as appearances go, it I feel like it fails the character and it fails the story. That's one of my takes. thoughts. I don't know. This is kind of like a marriage of two things because we were talking about scary stories and we were talking about comparison of appearances. I feel very strongly opposed to it. I'm not a big fan of people ranking appearances or comparing the way that people look. But it is it is a very important part of this story, the fact that this happens and the fact that it's a bad thing that this happens. And I feel like the message of this is a terrible thing that happens in real schools all around the country, maybe even in other parts of the world. I'm not as familiar with the culture in other countries, but the message is that this happens, and you've probably seen this happen or been a part of this. And I feel like it gets taken away. That's a part where I feel that I don't know. I think that the cases where the appearance of the actor plays an important part, I think those are rare, in my personal opinion, just by my personal standards. I do not care too much. It's more about like the delivery, the personality. But this is a case for me where I feel that the look really matters. Mm. Which version have I seen? I've only seen the original one from what is it, the 80s, the 90s? I'm gonna laugh at you. I've seen that one. Not many times. And it's been a while. I am interested in looking into the musical though. I don't know much of anything about the musical. Hmm. 70s. Oh my gosh, I thought it was the 80s. It's tough for me because I consume things from the 70s through the 90s and honestly some of the early 2000s as well. I consume them all at the same time. That gap of the 1970 through I want to say like 2006, I consumed all of those things as equal media. I consumed it all at the same time. And so I kind of struggle. This is something we've talked about before. I struggle to differentiate the eras. Read the book. Yes, but that's also been a long time for me. I read that one in late middle, early high school, I think. All I remember is that reading it made me feel sick. Like it made me feel sick and gross and bad. And I did not get that experience watching it as much. And I've carried that thought with me all this time. I think it's one of those experiences where you're supposed to feel bad. And I did not walk out of the film feeling as bad as I should have. Mm, yeah. Just a I don't know, just thing I thought about a lot and that I think about a lot in the subject of like King stories. I think there are some changes in like the film versions of his stories that are good though. One that I really liked was the twist at the end of The Mist. That's like a short story that he wrote that I liked. The ending in the movie version of The Mist was not in the original story, if I recall correctly, but I thought it was a crazy gut punch. It was clever. It was some good stuff. It was a crazy twist right at the last like the last minute of the film. Oh, yeah. The Mist and Misery are two of my favorites in that I like horror stories where rather than a big traveling horror story where you got all these places and you're on the run, I like when you're scared of something from a closed, tiny space and you become intimately familiar with that space because you're trapped there. I think stories like that are really good. And that's something I like about The Mist and about Misery. Yeah. That's why those two are pretty high on my list as far as like scary stories go. Same thing with it's not the highest rated horror film, but it's one I've mentioned before, Autopsy of Jane Doe. Similar like horror where you're intimately familiar with the space you're in. Uh I wish I could talk more, but I must oh my gosh. I must lock in. Ah. Maybe we could switch to 15:15. What do you think? Let's switch to 15-15. I just want to keep talking. Okay, hold on. We'll do 15-15. We'll do 15-15. So it's still a 30-minute Pomodoro, but no, we could do 15. We could do 15-15. That's fine. That's fine. I've gotten some good work done already. I've made good progress. I still got a lot to do, but I got more things to say. I have something to say. But yeah, Autopsy of Jane Doe is like a film that I enjoy. I think that the film kind of weakens toward the end, but I really, really love the first like 75% of it. Masterclass. I love the first 75% of the film enough that the ending and like the last 25%, I do not mind it. I do not mind its weaknesses. I did not mind its weaknesses. I think it's really good. Highly recommend. It is one of those where I don't know. I really like any horror film as well, or any story, horror or otherwise, where the viewer knows just as much as the character on the screen. Like when you discover things as they discover them. I love that. I love that. I recommend that one. It's a good one for that. I also like aside from like closed space horror, I like small town rural horror. Like if we're talking King novels or King films, I like Children of the Corn for that. I love the more recent one, Pearl is a really good one. Misery falls in that category too. I love like small rural farm town horror. It's good. It's good stuff. Mm. Things like that get me scared because or it gets me scared in a way that I can relate to more. I think good horror is horror where you can make the viewer relate to the character in some way, right? And in those scenarios I can relate a bit because they remind me of home. And there's something about like it's one thing to be chased by a serial killer in a suburb, but if you're chased in a rural farm town where the houses are multiple minutes apart in the middle of nowhere and the police will never know that it's going on, and you might not even be able to call them because of the signal being poor, that's true horror. That is a very scary part of living in places like my childhood home that I love to see in horror films. It's good stuff. Or like when it dips into like forests too in those small rural areas. Good stuff. Good stuff. Live on a farm? No, I've never lived on a farm, but I've lived near farms. In my childhood home, there was a farm within walking distance, and I would actually go there sometimes to play. I would play it, though I wasn't supposed to, and I'd get in trouble for it sometimes. So I spent more of my time playing by like the water and playing in the woods. Yeah. Yeah, I like things like that too. I think that's a special kind of horror. For me at least, because I can relate to it. But it's also just objectively scarier, I feel. I think it is. I guess it's subjective in any case because two people are not going to be scared of the same things. But yeah, no, I think that I think that like small town, rural, forest, farm horror is the scariest. Yeah, and it gets dark. It gets dark. We don't have all that electric light everywhere. We don't have all that mess. It's different. Mm. Though city horror is also scary in a way in that like, there are so many people that there are like there are more ways to hide in plain sight, I guess. So that makes like city urban development horror different too. Okay, we'll do 15 minutes and then we'll go back to 10:20. Okay, I just had more to say on that subject and I could not do another cliffhanger. All right, let's lock in. We'll do 15 minutes this time. Thank you for understanding. I had something to say. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna call it 2 minutes early. This was actually a 15-minute work Pomodoro and it was supposed to be 20 because I couldn't stop talking earlier. I'm just gonna I'm just oh my god. What is going on? Why now? Why would you do that when I can't say anything back? I was supposed to be focused. You distracted me. Also, hello Vanta. Thank you for the redirect. I hope you enjoyed Genshin Impact. What the heck? Stop! Stop! What's going on? Why now? I'm not even doing anything. I haven't done. What the heck? What is going on? What the heck? Stop! Oh my gosh. You expect me to focus under these conditions? You're crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, hello, Vanta and Vanta crew. Thank you for stopping by. Today we were doing. Stop. Today we're, despite current appearances, you came just in time to witness this. Actually, despite the way it might look right now, we are doing lots of work today. We're focused. I'm doing what one might call giga work today. So we're doing a 30-minute Pomodoro. Usually is 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of break, chill, relaxation time. I do a modified one. I do 20 minutes of work and 10 minutes of chatting because then, you know, then I can hang out more, which is nice. So, but for some reason, I am the victim of a calculated and oh wait, I need to start the timer again. I'm the victim of a calculated and stop! A calculated and coordinated attempt to ruin my focus. I'm the victim of a premeditated attempt on my focus. Say it like it was planned. It seems planned. It seemed so coordinated. It all happened so fast. Oh my god. I'm not even doing anything to deserve it right now. At least save it for when I've earned it. Oh my gosh. I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. I can only assume that the motive is to distract me when I'm trying to focus. Stop! Stop! Oh my gosh. I'm stressed. Miss me a lot. Okay. That I can. I guess maybe it's because I've been kind of away recently. I've been really sick. Still getting better. Stop! Oh my god, can't even talk anymore. Yeah, thank you for your support. I guess. Oh my gosh. I just don't get it. Like I can make sense of it sometimes. Like sometimes I'll do something really cool or something really funny or you know, maybe I'll sing. I think that's a common one. I'm literally just sitting here. I'm just sitting here. I'm not even talking half the time. More than half the time. 2/3 of the time today I'm just sitting there. Man standing emoji. I just don't get it. Distraction where? Right here. It's your fault. I'm blaming you. I blame you! Pointing hand. Pointing finger in your face. I blame you! Oh, this is way too much. This is way too much. Way too much energy. Oh my god. What the heck? I'm sick. I'm about to be sick. What were we talking about? Did I leave on a cliffhanger last time? What do we want to talk about? We got like 7.5 minutes to talk about whatever you want. Then I have to stop. Oh my god. Jane Doe. Oh yeah, autopsy. Well, no, I think I kind of finished. I said everything I wanted to say about that. Autopsy of Jane Doe is a good narrative and environmental type storytelling moment. It like tells the story through what you see rather than what you hear in most cases. Um Mist, I talked about that too. I think The Mist is a really, really good story, but the film has a twist in the last minute that was really tasteful. That's like a big derivative, like crazy change from the original material that I actually approve of. I thought that was a good choice. I thought it I thought it was like a big death blow, and I did not mind how drastically different it was. What are other stories, scary movies that I like? Scary films. Um, mm, I like horror films where it's like rather than being purely scary, it's one of those things where it kind of hurts to watch, like secondhand embarrassment, kind of scary. Like I mentioned Pearl. I think that's one of those. I think Pearl is one of those where you were just like sitting there and your gut is tied in knots watching this character make these decisions. The Substance, another one, just like Pearl. The Substance is another one of those films where it's like watching them make the wrong choice time and time again hurts. I love that. I love films like that. Really, really good stuff. Really, really, really good stuff. I like that. Big fan. You had to pause watching Pearl. I get that. I honestly I reference Pearl a little too much for my own good. My big one that I like to pull out is I'm married. And I don't even like I'm a single individual. I have no right to be saying this, and yet I'll pull it out at the most ridiculous timing ever just cuz it's fun to say. I'm married. No, please, I'm a star. That's another one. No, please, I'm a star. It's good. No, I'm a star. No, please, I'm a star. Oh, Emma Stone. No, please, Emma Stone. Top 10 list? I don't know if I have one. And it's really hard for me to pick favorites. I can just list off random ones that I've seen that I like. I liked we mentioned this when we were talking about scary stories and movies playing Zelda recently, I think. The Conjuring. I've seen the first two Conjuring films, and I've seen not Annabelle, but I've seen like the Annabelle prequel story. I saw that one. But Conjuring 2, I like that one. Uh Similar territory. I love The Haunting. Like I love The Haunting of Hill House, and I love The Haunting of Bly Manor. Love them both. Hill House particularly. Oh my gosh. If you want to talk like a good twist, talking twist endings, I won't spoil this one. Or maybe I'll give a warning and spoil it. I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know. The twist without giving details, and please don't do it for me. The twist and Haunting of Hill House, I will remember that forever. And that's how you do a good twist. Oh my god. Like I don't remember that much about The Haunting of Hill House. It's been multiple years since I watched it. I cannot tell you much about it. I can tell you about her. I can tell you everything you need to know about her. And that's how you know it was good stuff. I lay in bed thinking about that twist sometimes. Good stuff. Good stuff. Her, yup. I can tell you about her. I can tell you about the lady. Okay? I can tell you about that lady. Yeah, I highly recommend Haunting of Hill House if you're down for like a binge and you want a good narrative, like storyline that is well calculated from the very beginning. Like in the beginning, they are they are placing the bricks to smash down a wall in the end. Like they are calculated. Everything is a clue and everything is important. Good series. And Bly Manor, I really recommend that too. I really, really love the lead actress. What's her name? Victoria Pagetti, is that right? Am I remembering her name? I'm really bad at actors and actresses. I always forget their names, but she's one of my favorites of like recent cinema, recent series. I really liked her in You as my favorite role when she played Love. When she played Love in You, that's my favorite. I love her so much. I adore that actress. She's so good and she's so pretty and she just I don't know. I love her. Obsessed with her. Love that actress. I recommend that one too. I need to finish that. I think it's finished now, right? Did they finish You? The Netflix series You? I haven't seen the last season. Or maybe the last 2 seasons. I saw the first one. I'm trying to think of how to talk about it without spoiling things for those that want to watch it. I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. And I've seen the third one. I don't think I've seen anything after season 3. I don't know how much happens after season 3, but I think it's finished now, right? They finished it? Okay, so I need to watch it. I need to catch up. I need to see what happens. I think man goes a little bit further this time. But honestly, I've not been motivated to continue watching because Love was my favorite character. And I get the feeling that I won't be seeing too much of her anymore. So I don't know, maybe. I need to catch up on it though. I am invested. Well, oops. Ow, I just bumped my knee. Ow. Ow. Okay, I need to set up for the next Pomodoro. Oh, ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Okay, let's lock in for 20 minutes. Full Pomodoro, okay? We're not doing that 15-15 nonsense anymore. I need to lock in. I need to get some work done. Horror watch along? Maybe. That'd be fun. I'd love to watch a scary movie. I'll keep you posted. Okay. Lock in. Stuck in my head. Hi. Oh my god. You're sick. It's genuinely like you wait to do it until you wait till I'm working. It's definitely to mess with my focus. You're so silly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I opted for I opted for Morse code. I opted for Morse code since I couldn't talk yet. Or I don't know. He didn't say I couldn't sing. It's like that kind of moment, you know? He didn't say I couldn't signal in Morse code. He didn't say I couldn't. He didn't say. What did I say? I said, stop, please. Or to be more specific, it was stop, 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 PLS. He didn't say I couldn't sing. I gotta be careful. No more of that. That one's catchy. That one feels good to do. Cat Valentine, I love her. I love her. I love Victorious. Victorious is such a good show. Same ton of Oh Sponge. Oh no. Oh SpongeBob. Oh SpongeBob. Oh SpongeBob. Oh SpongeBob. I put a spell on you. Because no. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Definitely not right now. Shouldn't do it usually. Cannot do it right now. Cannot keep this up. Oh my god. No. Oh, you know that song? You know that song? I love that song. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Stop all the things you do. Watch out! Eyeline. Yeah, can't stand. Ooh, no running around. No. It's too catchy. It's too catchy. It's too catchy. Yeah, can't stand. No. It's a good one. It's a good jazz banger. I put a spell on you. No. No. This is not a singing day. I gotta be careful, or else I won't be able to sing. I really want to do a Halloween karaoke stream this month. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. My goal is that I can recover enough stamina to do like a slightly shorter than usual one. Like for an unarchived karaoke stream, I can usually go to like 13, sometimes up to 15 songs. I might have to cut it at like 7. But I could still do it if I did that, I think. I really want to do one. I was planning to do 2 karaokes this month. I was planning to do one last week and then another one next week. Or like at the end of the month. And I got sick, so I wasn't able to do them. I was planning 2 for this month. Now I'm behind. Yeah. We're in a drought where it's been a whole month and I haven't done a karaoke stream. Could you imagine such a thing? I'm crazy. I'm sick in the head for doing it as often as I do it, but I love it so much. It's just so fun. Promise? No, I cannot promise it. I unfortunately cannot promise. I do not know if I'll be able to do a karaoke stream this month. But know that I really want to. So I'm going to take my vocal recovery extra seriously so that I can do one. So yeah, no promises, but know that I want to, and know that I had set lists finished already. I'm now trying to come up with modified set lists of songs that I can, that I could sing more easily, maybe. Because for the Halloween set list that I had planned, it was some really tough songs, to tell you the truth. It was some tough songs that would really push me vocally, but hey, Halloween is not a one-time event. I could just save it for next year. I only had one Halloween set list anyway, so. But yeah, voice first. That way I can do more karaoke later. If I push myself now, I'll be damaged for longer. Looking forward to next year already, but it's not even been Halloween yet this year. Why don't you look for it's 2 weeks from now. You still got 2 weeks to look forward to this year. What's going on? Look forward to this year first. Then you can look forward to Christmas, maybe. Or like holiday season. I don't know. I love Halloween though. Did you celebrate Halloween growing up? Is that something you do? In my case, I have very limited experience with the traditional image of Halloween. I trick-or-treated, I think, twice in my entire childhood. It is a lot harder to trick-or-treat where I grew up because the houses are a billion miles apart. So my takeaway from that, I carried around my big black garbage bag and I filled it up. Best believe. It got heavy. But it took so many hours and my legs were on fire by the end of it. I was carrying candy for me and multiple siblings by the end of it. It was miserable. So after the first 2 years I ever trick-or-treated, we never did it again. What we would do in my family is we would get costumes, like we'd dress up for Halloween, and we'd wear them to school on whichever school day was closest to Halloween, whether it was like on Halloween or just a day near Halloween. And then after that, we'd wait a few days till it was like November 3rd or 4th, just a few days after Halloween. Then we would go to the Walmart and we would buy all the candy we wanted for a fraction of the price. So I didn't have to I didn't have to hold out hope that some house would have the candies I liked. I would just pick the ones I wanted. I'd just pick it out. Yeah. It was great. It was awesome, actually. Just bought all the candies I liked. That's how we did Halloween in the Debonair household. Halloween costumes. If I dressed up this year, I mentioned this before, I'm kind of undecided. I still haven't decided between a sheet ghost, a cowboy, and a vampire. Those are my 3 favorite Halloween costumes right now. But as a kid, I got creative. I was creative. I was doing those, those Halloween costumes that go viral these days where it's like they'll do like an illusion of being headless or like having tiny little legs, things like that. I was doing those before they were cool. And I made them myself. I was so cool. I always had the coolest costumes. I loved it. It was such a fun process. I say I made it myself. It was me and my mom that would make them. But I loved them. It was so fun. Halloween is different. I feel like people are not making their costumes like they should. I think that's Halloween. Halloween, like the true Halloween spirit is to make a costume and to flaunt that costume because it's your treasure. It's your trophy. You worked for it, It's fun to just like buy a costume and slip it on, but like to make one or like alternative is to carefully collect a number of unrelated pieces to assemble one. That's good. That is a very rewarding experience. Highly recommend. Whether you're trick-or-treating or like sitting at home passing out candy in costume or going to a party, I love a good Halloween party. I'm not a party goer, but I like a Halloween party. I think Halloween parties are the closest thing we have today to like masquerade balls. Other than like rich people that actually do masquerade balls. Halloween parties for me are like the masquerade ball for the normal person. Good at cosplay? Maybe. I don't really have much experience. Or honestly, as far as actual experience goes, you could say I have none. But I have adjacent experience at least. I have things that are kind of like cosplay in my record book. So maybe. I don't know if that counts. Yeah, I hope that if you do anything for Halloween, I hope you have fun. And I hope that you are safe and that you have something yummy and spooky. but not too spooky. Spooky, but not scary. Important distinction. I hope you are spooked, but not scared. Yeah. Anyway, let's do another one. Let's lock in. 20 minutes. I'll see you in 20 minutes. We're on a roll today. I'm doing so many. I put a spell on you. Hi. Okay, we're I think that's the last of work. I thought that'll be the last Pomodoro, I think. We'll call that the last Pomodoro today. So from here on out, it's just chatting. I do still have more work to do, but I'll just do it off stream. I don't know how long we can talk. I will say I'm starting to feel that early warning sign. And this is why we did a Pomodoro today. I cannot talk for like a full length stream yet, like I normally would. It's one thing in a collab where it's like a back and forth, but when it's a solo stream, it's a bit different. Oats, thank you so much. It's not quite over for me yet. お疲れ様でしたじゃなくてけど、これからも頑張りますよ。I'll continue to do my best from now on as well. Yeah, this'll just be the rest of the stream will be like a little break for me. Don't forget to take care of yourself, of course. Of course, I'm being very careful. More careful now than ever. What I really need is to recover enough that I can, that I can return to my usual exercise. That'd be great. Oh, that'd be so nice if I could go back to exercising normally. Hope you don't mind if I peel back the curtain here for a second. I have this like overlay I can turn on. This is very helpful to me. Okay, there we go. Pretend you didn't see that. Yeah, what were we talking about? Did I get interrupted? I don't remember. I cannot remember. I don't know, but I had that song in my head the whole time. I was fighting not to sing it because I didn't want to lose my voice. You for gore? Me too. That's okay. That might mean that we actually that might mean that we ended on a good note for the last Pomodoro. Why did I ask about favorite games? I'll tell you eventually. I realize that the way I say it now might make you curious and excited. It's not a huge thing, but it was actually related to the thing I was focusing on at that point. And not in a way that you might guess. Yeah, I'll tell you when it is relevant to you. For now, it is not relevant to you. It's not relevant to you quite yet. Yeah, I'll try to remember. Thank you for your answer. It was very helpful to me. More than you know. Yeah. It was not me. That was not me trying to like distract myself and lose focus and not work. That was actually work related. Confirm that I have what is that called? Yaeva? I don't know. I maybe a slight Yaeva. Like I don't know that I would not call it a very pronounced one. For those that don't know, Yaeva is when your canines poke out a little bit. Mine kind of do. Not too much though. I never really thought about it. Hmm. Like fangs, maybe. I love Yaeva on other people though. I almost wish mine was more pronounced because I think it's one of the cutest teeth arrangements you can have. Is when you have like fully pronounced Yaeva and they stick out really far. I think it's really really cute. I gotta say, I think it might be different from country to country. I will say that in the United States, there's a very strict beauty standard of having straight teeth. Like your teeth have to be perfectly separated and they have to go straight down and straight up. They can't jut in different directions or else that's considered ugly. And it's to a point in the States where if you don't have straight teeth, it could even be seen as unhygienic because you're expected to go to a dentist to have it corrected. I've never agreed with that standard. I think that crooked teeth are so cute. I love it. I love when someone has crooked teeth. Mine are naturally kind of straight for the most part, so I've never really had to have anything too crazy. Uh, yeah, yeah. I think like fully pronounced Yaeva. I think snaggle teeth. I think gap teeth. I think it's all really really cute. I think that I think that interesting like arrangements for teeth are a part of what makes somebody interesting and unique. Mm. Thought it was about health. It can be. Some teeth arrangements are bad for you, like dangerous for your jaw, for example. They might make it hard to chew. That's one thing, but I think most of the stigma around teeth in the States and most of the pressure around going to the dentist to have it corrected is more cosmetic. It's more of an aesthetic beauty standard. Mm. There are some situations where it's necessary for your health again, but a lot of the time that beauty standard of just having straight teeth, it's purely a beauty standard. And it's not the same in other countries as far as I know. I don't know how it works exactly from country to country, but I know that in other countries it's not quite as strict. Yeah, like in the UK, that's one that I was thinking of. I think in the UK it's more typical and normal and accepted to have crooked teeth. Um, and like the culture around dentistry is different in different countries as well. Yeah, I think oral hygiene is important, like brushing your teeth, flossing. That's my weakness. I'm really bad at flossing. I'm great at brushing. Brush twice a day, sometimes thrice a day, but I suck at flossing. I just brush and go in with mouthwash. I need to floss more. Maybe I should make that a New Year's resolution or something. We're reaching the new year here in a couple months. Don't like to floss. It's more like I just forget to, and I'm too lazy. It's like it's so much of an extra task to me. I don't know. I wasn't raised on flossing. I was raised on brushing. Yeah, I've been trying to like each year, the last few years, I've been trying to introduce a new healthy habit that I neglected to pick up over the years. More recently, like my biggest achievement a couple years back was to stop biting my nails. That's one I've talked about a couple times. I'm very, very proud of that because I was a really, really bad nail biter and I don't do it at all anymore. Enough that now my nails have grown long enough on my right hand to actually kind of get in the way of my typing. They're kind of long. Longest they've ever been right now, actually, because usually I file them. I file them very regularly, but I haven't been doing that since I've been sick. I've let go. Kaelix Debonair, you've changed. So maybe I could introduce flossing next year. Hmm. I don't know. New Year's resolutions in general are a part of a more recent mission that I've also had the last several years of enjoying life more. I think that don't know. I used to be very cynical about New Year's. I used to be like, New Year's is stupid and pointless, and everyone who sets a New Year's resolution is not going to follow through with it. And that sucks, and it means nothing. I used to be super critical of it. I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. And I was very loud and annoying about it. I was the most obnoxious person in the room every time January rolled around. I just had to be different. I don't know. But I found that going out of your way to celebrate holidays and to treat them as important makes life more fun. So I'm trying in more recent years to take New Year's seriously and to set resolutions and to try in earnest to keep them. And it's okay if I fail on some. If I win one, then that's a win. That, you know, that's a thing that I could have not done that I chose to do. That I did because of this, you know? Hmm. Hater. No. I'm not a hater. And I don't just want to be different either. The deal with Chikorita, I got nothing against Chikorita. I just don't know her. I never played any of her games. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Black. And do you know what my first starter was? Tepig. I have to choose Tepig. I love By the Beat, but I'm not just going to match with them just because they happen to pick the same one. I'm sure Chikorita is very nostalgic for them, but I have no nostalgia for her. She's just not mine. That's not for me. She's great. It's like, she's cute. I love it. It's a very cute design, but I don't know her. I saw what you had to say. I saw you were in flames. You were like, oh, you're that goldfish because you're not choosing Chikorita and not matching. You just couldn't conform to the crowd. You couldn't pick Chikorita like everybody else. I saw what you had to say. I saw it. I'm nothing like y'all. Nothing like the rest of y'all. Log off. I can't. I've been so online recently. It is a problem. Like, I'm gonna need some kind of intervention to break my online streak that I developed while I was sick. I was stuck in bed and I didn't have the energy or the motivation to work. So I just spent all my time scrolling. Yeah, Pokemon Black and White was my first Pokemon game, so I have more nostalgia for that. When I played Legends Arceus, can you guess which one I chose for my starter? That's right, Oshawott. I chose that one. I chose the one from Unova. I love Unova. Unova's my favorite region. It's my favorite generation. Every Pokemon in that game is better to me by a mile than any Pokemon from any other gen. It's the best one to me because it was my first one. And that's how everybody plays this game. That is how everybody deals with Pokemon. They will love their first one the most. That's just how it goes. Like, I'm sure there are people that played Chikorita's, I don't even remember which game she's from. I'm sure people played that one first, and that's why they really like that. Or I think Totodile's from the same one, right? It was Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil, whichever game they were from. Gold and Silver, thank you. I'm sure that was their first, and I'm sure they loved it, and I'm sure that's why they're so excited about it. But I never played it. You played Red first, but you loved Gen 3 and 5 first. Oh, so you know what I'm hearing from this? I'm nothing like y'all. That's what I hear. Funny. Seen Chikorita in the show? Not much of that either. Because I started watching the show around the same time that I started playing the game. So I'm not actually as familiar with some of the anime either. I just don't have the same nostalgia. I came into the franchise later. Yeah, I just love Tepig. I think he's cute. And trust, I'll be catching any Unova Pokemon I see. In fact, I wonder, I haven't looked into which Pokemon are in this game, but if there are enough Unova Pokemon, I might just do a full Unova team. I saw that they got Pansage, Panpour, and Pansear in there, and I love them. Those are 3 of my favorite Pokemon. I might just do a trio team with only those 3 and nothing else. Who knows? Wait, okay, I want a spoiler. Can I ask a spoiler? Can you tell me if it has Litwick in it? Chandelure is one of my favorite Pokemon. Does it have Litwick or Golurk is my favorite Pokemon. If it has Golurk, it's over. Either of those two and I'll be content. They could add any combination of other Unova Pokemon, but if it has Chandelure or Golurk, I'm on cloud 9. It has Litwick? Okay, I win. I'm winning. I'm getting that Litwick, and it's going to be my ace. Still haven't finished Scarlet. Maybe I will someday. I don't feel like it. I want to eventually. I hate leaving things unfinished. That's one thing to know about me. I will be haunted forever if I leave a game unfinished, if I don't go back and finish it eventually. So there is a very strong chance that we'll return to Scarlet someday. I.e., whenever they eventually release another mainline game, if they announce another mainline game other than Pokemon Legends, like the next Pokemon blank and blank versions, when they announce those, that's maybe when I'll be pushed to start finishing Scarlet, right? I consider this okay to pick up in the middle of Scarlet because it's a separate thing. It's a spin-off. This is not a mainline Pokemon game. You know what I mean? So I might go back to it. I probably will. I can't promise it, but I want to. I want to. I mean, we put in enough game. Well, we put in enough time that I want to finish it. I've just been so distracted by all these other games. Already finished it offline. Yeah, this is I think the third time that I've played Pokemon Scarlet. That's another thing. That is another thing. I love it enough that I could play it 10 times, but because I've played it twice already, I'm not quite as carried by the story. You know what I mean? My motivation for that is to experience it with you, which is fun, but I've got all these other games that we can experience together too. So I get distracted is my problem. I just forget. We'll go back eventually though. Trust, probably. Possibly, maybe. When will you wear Vigs? I will say the longer it's been since I've last played the game, the more I want to replay it. That's where I am at with, like, for example, Amori is a game I really want to play. But I've played it, I think, twice now. I think I've played that game twice. And I think that's a game where it's like, I need some time before I go back to it if I'm going to really enjoy it. Or like another one, I really desperately, I've wavered so many times over the last few months. I desperately want to play Deltarune. I've only played Chapter 1. I have only played Chapter 1. However, I feel that if I'm going to stream Deltarune and uplift this game, I need to stream Undertale first. That's very important to me because I love Undertale very much. I've played Undertale like 7 times. I've played it like 7 times. I was obsessed with Undertale when I was younger. I was obsessed with it. My thing with Undertale, I think Undertale is a winter game. Undertale is like a mid to late December game. So I'm just waiting for that. We'll play it either this winter or next winter. We will play Undertale. Trust and believe the day will come. I'm just a freak and I like when the seasons in my game match something in real life. For me, Undertale, yeah, it's because of Snowdin. I think Undertale is a winter game because of Snowdin. It's my favorite location in the game. I know there are areas in the game other than Snowdin, but like, that's Undertale for me, is Snowdin Town. That's what I think of. I think of the ruins and I think of Snowdin. I think of the first sections of the game. Yeah. I also need to go back and do another season in Stardew sometime soon while it's still fall. We got like 1 more month before it's not really fall anymore. I need to do another, on the subject of matching the seasons. For the first year in Stardew, I want to match the season to the real world. Or I guess to the northern hemisphere, because in like for example in Australia, I think the seasons are reversed. So it's not immersive for everybody, but it's immersive for me. Starting to feel like winter out there right now. It's both for me. It's so strange. These times that we're in, There are some days where I feel like I'm freezing to death, like it is January in October. And there are days like yesterday, I was melting in my chair, had to run a fan. Like it was July. It's so strange. I'm used to it being different by this point of the year. Hmm. Oh yeah, I need to unpin my message. And that's my favorite theme. It's so good. I'm so excited. I'm excited to play that game. Yeah, there are so many games I want to play. I had hoped to like start up a couple new ones this month, but you saw how that went. I still got time. I've still got time. I just need to recover more of my voice. Mm. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else do I want to play. We talk about this a bunch, but hmm. Hmm. I do still want to see if I can do another spooky game. I want to play at least one or two more spooky games. Silent Hill F. I don't know. I'm really tempted. I'll say that. I'm tempted because all of By the Beat has played it. And, you know, there's this running gag of how, like, Frio is immune. He's immune to FOMO. He'll never play Animal Crossing. Kaelix is not immune to FOMO. I am so vulnerable to FOMO. And one of my favorite things about scary game streamers is when a bunch of streamers play the same scary game and then people do like compilative reaction videos. Or not reaction videos, where people do compilative videos where it's like these 10 streamers reaction to this point in this game that they all played. I love those. I eat those comps, like those clip reels. I eat those up like candy. Like people do them for like Chill as Art games. People have already done them for the horror tolerance test. I eat those up like candy. And seeing that all of By the Beat, except for me, has played that game makes me want to play it. But I'm scared. You know, it's very easy for me to schedule something like horror tolerance test, right? Well, it's not easy, but it's easier than this for me to schedule horror tolerance test because that is a one-time experience and it's under 2 hours, you know? I sit down once and then I'm done. Silent Hill F is like serialized. I'd have to break it into pieces. That's scary. And it's one of those games that like to really enjoy it, you got to play it like 3 or 4 times. I can't do that. I'm so scared. I'm a chicken. But everything I've seen and heard about it really interests me. So I might play it. I'm thinking about it. I need you to know I've been laying in bed thinking about it recently. Maybe that could be like a November game. I know I'm endeavoring to play scary games for October, but maybe I wouldn't be too late if I did it like mid-November. I think I'd need a little bit more time on my vocal recovery journey to play a game like that because I feel like I'd be screaming a lot. And it's a very important thing to balance is how much I'm screaming on stream versus, you know, if I'm singing off stream or singing on stream too. It's kind of like, you know, like when you're rolling a character in Dungeons and Dragons or distributing stat points in an RPG and you have like a number of points that you can allot to your skills. Or maybe it'd be better to describe it as like a battery, you know? It's like in a week, I have a battery that is my voice. And anytime I scream or sing, it drains it a little bit. And when I don't do those things, it slowly recharges. I can do some singing and some screaming in little bursts so long as I adequately position some rest in between or some low energy just talking in between. That's how I can manage it. But if I do too much for too long, I'm empty. And recharging from empty is so much harder than recharging from like 50%. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can describe it. That's why I don't do things like that too often, and that's part of why I'm scared of them. Even aside from just actually being scared, like scared of the content of the game, scared that I'm gonna poop my pants and cry. It's also like I'm scared of losing my voice. I am meticulous to a paranoid extent when it comes to taking care of my voice. That's part of why it's one of the things we talk about the most often. It's not like I just, I just really, it's the only thing I can think of, but it is something I think about a lot. So it just, it's always on my mind. And it is relevant to the work. I do really want to see if I can put in one more solo horror game, though. And maybe a couple horror collabs for the rest of this month. Maybe towards the end of the month. By that point, I should be much better. I do still have to catch up on recording work. I was supposed to do a bunch of recording last week. I think you may remember. I remember we were at like the first week of the month, like the 3rd or the 4th or something of October, and I was like, "Hey, so the week of the 5th, I'm not going to be streaming quite as much because I got a lot of work to do. I got some important recording. I got some administrative work to catch up on, and then I spent that whole week in bed. So I still haven't done that work, and now I've fallen behind because I had work for this week too. Now I'm like doubly behind. So I still got stuff to do as soon as my voice is fully in control again. But I'm getting there. I'm keeping my chin up. Is actually the most unfortunate timing I could have had ever for anything like this to happen, but I am not going to let it get me down. I'm not going to give up. I will keep pushing forward, and even if it means I have to modify my plans a little bit, that's okay. I will still keep moving. I'm not going to just give up. I'm not going to throw in the towel over something so silly as this. Yeah. On that note, though, I do need to start wrapping up. As I mentioned, I was feeling the early warning signs. I'm feeling the actual warning signs now that I'm talking too much. So I'm going to rest my voice for the rest of the day so that I can record a little bit tomorrow. As for stream schedule, I'll start telling you about that. I want to do something tomorrow. I haven't decided exactly what yet. Since I'm planning to try and record tomorrow might be a silent stream of some kind. Haven't decided quite yet. I'll let you know when I know tomorrow. Yeah, there should be something. Same time as today. Sunday will be a members only stream. Sunday will be a members only stream. I know I normally do Zelda on Sundays, but on one hand, I don't know that I can do a full length gaming stream right now. And I don't know if I'll be able to by Sunday. And another thing, that is the 6-month mark since I opened membership. And you may know that the day that I opened memberships and that I was monetized was also the day that I revealed the design for our little mascot, the Debonair. And I know, like I personally do not view you as the little monkey. I view you as a human being. Like when we talk, I'm not seeing a little monkey in front of me, but I understand that everybody can be attached to this mascot, and you're free to see yourself as this little monkey. So I wanna like commemorate that occasion. It's the half birthday, you could say. So it'll be a members only stream. It'll be a regular chat. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything too special. I mentioned that I had 2 karaoke's planned. In truth, that was actually the second one that I was planning. I was planning a Halloween one, and I was planning like a 6-month monetization karaoke, but I cannot do that this time around. Unfortunately, I do hope you weren't too disappointed. Yeah, I'll talk for as long as I can when the time comes. That'll be Sunday. Rest of the week. Let's see. Hold on. I have not filled it out yet. There should be a collab on Friday. But here's the thing. I need to ask for clarification. I do not know if this collab is Friday JST or Friday EDT? You know, is it Kaelix time or is it Japan time? So I say Friday, but like for example, if it's Friday morning JST, that means it's Thursday night for us, you know? Or if it's Friday evening JST, that means it's Friday morning. I say for us, but for me, like the way that I describe things. So I don't know quite yet. But Thursday or Friday, I should have a pretty cool collab if it follows through, if we can see it through to the end. I'll give you more information on that when I know. But yeah, one collab is planned for this week. There might be a second one as well. Might even be a third. In fact, I've actually considered making it just a week full of collabs so that I can spend more time resting my voice. But I don't know quite yet. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see what it looks like. I'll let you know when I know. But what I can tell you now is that there will be something tomorrow. Haven't decided yet. And a members only stream on Sunday. That is what I can tell you for now. Yeah, I might be a little late publishing my full schedule due to some of the vague things that I haven't worked out yet about collabs. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for working with me today. Thank you for chatting with me. I've really missed hanging out, and I know it's not quite normal yet. We're not fully back as much as I'd like to be, but we will be. We're getting there. I will send you to Eeny Meeny Miny Mo Zilgin Joka, who is playing Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. I don't know anything about this game. I think I saw something about this game like yesterday on Twitter, though, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm sure it's a good time. So please be polite if you participate in the redirect. If you go over and say hello to Zeal, please be nice when you get there, okay? Please follow his rules. Please be respectful. Don't go in there talking about me or anything that we talked about today. Get invested in what he's doing if you want to hang out. And if you're tuckered out, if you got more work to do, or if you're tired, you do not have to participate in the redirect. That's totally okay. In either case, I hope that you can relax, get some good rest eventually, as soon as you can. Honestly, it'd be nice. I'd love to know that you're resting enough. And get some good food as well. Make sure you're eating properly. Get something tasty. It's a beautiful time of year for tasty like pastries and desserts and stuff. I'm kind of in the mood for pie lately. Not gonna lie, I really want a pie. Ooh, last year I was really obsessed with this like pumpkin pie flavored cheesecake. I don't know how to describe it. It's a cheesecake, right? But it has this little swirl of pumpkin pie in it. Oh my god, it was so good. Oh, I wonder if they have it again. I haven't seen it since last year, but it was so good. I'm gonna see if if I can get one of those soon. I think now that I'm thinking about it again. Oh, it's so good. Like pumpkin cheesecake. Ooh, so good. Yeah, beautiful season for nice desserts and for filling soups as well. Maybe have some soup. I'll be having some vegetable soup for dinner here in a bit. I'll be reheating some more. But yeah, I will see you as soon as I can. That'll be tomorrow probably. I may still cancel if I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, oh, it's not a good look, but should be good to go. Should be good to go. I'll see you as soon as I can. Till then, stay safe, okay? All right. Bye bye.